you see her? She's like, why are you waking me up so early? So funny. That little fall off of the couch. Yeah, so with the movement, it's all levels. Don't feel intimidated at all. You can join in, even if you've never practiced yoga before. And we're just going to move our bodies with the intention of stepping off the mat, feeling better than you walked on. You don't need a mat, but if you are practicing on a hardwood or tile floor, you're going to want to put down a blanket or a beach towel to protect your knees. And then we'll end with a nice long Savasana. I mentioned that, so that'll be a guided meditation at the end, reclining, and I'll play some Tibetan singing bowls for you. Yeah. So if there's anything, oh, Sabrina, hi on Facebook. Hi, I can't hear you. Happy to join you. Oh, awesome. I'll speak up. Is the music too loud? Because I can lower that too. If that's an issue, or I think it might just be my voice not projecting. You know. So we'll get started here in a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor, but you are free to join however works for you. You can be seated in a chair. I know a couple of you do practice in a chair, so this is all good. And then maybe just put all of your devices on silent, at least for this grounding meditation. Just give yourself a moment to really just arrive. My voice, got it. Waking up voice. Now I'm awake voice. So we'll come to sit nice and tall, chest over hips, head over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, or lower to a soft gaze just beyond your legs. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out through the mouth, shoulders drop away. Just take a moment here to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that came up after. That's to come. And just be present to yourself here in this moment. Here in this space. Beginning to allow sounds into your awareness. Perhaps the shuffling of a pet. Or the sound of passing traffic outside your window. Letting all sounds in, all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. Weight of your hands on your knees. And begin to scan your body from head down towards toes. Like passing through an X-ray machine, we're scanning for stiffness, tightness, sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. And just taking note to work into these spaces that call out for your attention throughout your movement practice today. And we'll shift that attention from Annamaya Kosha, the body, to Pranamaya Kosha, the energetic level. And just notice, where is your energy at today on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready for bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. Moving that attention to the breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, and whatever space in between, whatever holding. And shifting the awareness up to Manomaya Kosha, the mind. Allow thoughts and emotions to arise. No need to interact or engage with them. Observe them from a distance. Like an image being projected onto a screen, the story goes on without our direct participation. Just notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they reminiscing on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. And we shift that attention to the present moment through the breath, bringing the attention back down to the breath. We'll actively expand it. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhales fill belly and ribs with air, expanding the torso like a balloon inflating. And exhales relax belly button in towards spine, deflating and actively pulling the belly button in. Allow your inhales to expand the body, filling the belly with breath. And exhales to deflate the body, pulling everything in, actively using those core muscles to exhale. Slow your breath down, smooth it out. We'll begin our equal parts breathing practice. So beginning to silently count in your head as you're inhaling in and out through the nose. Counting in rhythm, your own rhythm. On the inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continuously until you get to the very top of your inhale. Say that number is 8. And we attempt to exhale at the same pace to the count of 8. The inhalation will equal the length of the exhalation. And that cycle continues. You may find on the next inhale you have another count in there, so you could work towards expanding it, but we're always matching the exhale to the inhale. So from 8 you might go up to 9, or even end up at 10. Whatever the number is, it's your own counting, so it's all good. It's not scientific, it's just about matching. Allow there to be space between the teeth. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth, jaws relaxed. The space between the eyebrows broadens, forehead relaxed. If the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to your counting. On your next exhale, no rush to get there. Releasing any effort from the breath, just returning to a natural pace. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Thumbs press into sternum, no space between the fingers. And here, consider setting an intention or dedication for your practice. Something to devote yourself to this morning, your reason for showing up. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You're invited and welcome to come and chant with me. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release down to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear rolls over towards left shoulder. Just allowing the head to gently roll side to side. So we work on the breath. We work on the breath every morning. It's called pranayama, which in Sanskrit translates to training the breath, but also the energy. So prana can be translated as breath, but really it's more like your life energy. So by being able to have a relationship with the breath, we have a direct relationship with the amount of energy we have, which is, a huge market in our culture between coffee and Red Bull, etc., etc. Next time the head rolls through center, we'll just bring it up to neutral. You have to roll the shoulders forward. But as we'll see in class today, by changing the pace of the breath, by changing the effort behind it, we naturally change our state of energy, our state of awareness and awakeness for free. All it costs is practice. It's really practice. So we practice it every morning. We just want to build that relationship with the breath so that we can use it to our advantage. When generally people in this modern day society are being not harmed by the breath, but it's actually the way that we breathe is taxing. So we're just gonna roll the shoulders back. Good morning, John. Hello. So when we sit in chairs all day and hunch over or have a rounding in our spine, or maybe we drive a lot, we're actually constricting our lungs' ability to breathe all the way. We're restricting our ability to oxygenate the blood, constricting organs. So we're actually taxing the body just from our natural positioning throughout the day, when the breath could really function as a tool towards optimal health, towards vibrant energy. Come to stillness there. We'll just work on some neck mobility. Do I want to do that? No, instead, let's actually just inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Let's just stretch a little. Exhale, right hand releases down, left arm reaches over, and we're gonna reach in front of us. Right hand follows, and just sweep in a nice big circle. So this doesn't have a name, it doesn't have a specific way that it has to look. You're just beginning to open up that space between the ribs and the spine, the hips. So the muscles between the ribs are called intercostal muscles. We're just opening up that space. As you can imagine, that's really beneficial if you're trying to get your lung capacity up. So let's change directions and start sweeping to the right. I should say the left arm sweeps over to the left, right hand follows, and then right hand leads as you go in front. Let's just go one more big sweep here. We'll bend in the elbows and bring the hands down to ear height. Wave the hands, just warming up the hands and wrists before we put any weight on them. And then, like playing piano, palms come down, fingers wiggle. So this is undoing all that keyboard typing and doom scrolling and serial gripping. Yeah. With the palms towards the sky, hands are pressed back as far as they'll go. Fingers spread wide, as I said, and we're just rotating side to side like tossing pizzas with very poor technique. So your forearm should actually begin to fatigue here because your fingers are pressing back so hard. And if you're feeling like a grinding in your right wrist, like how I feel, like that's something that we're just noticing, right? There's not like, oh, my bad wrist and my good wrist. None of that. Just like, oh, okay, that's happening. So I'm just going to be like extra mindful when I put weight on it later in the positions later on in class. And just shake off water nice and gentle. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Legs come out in front. I'm just going to spread and scrunch the toes. Roll out the ankles. Just waking up the bottoms of the feet. The bottoms of the leg. Warm up my voice with a little tea. Rolling out in the opposite direction. And knees bend. And feet come nice and wide, next to the edges of the mat wide. And drop the knees side to side. See, so my knees are so far apart that my foot doesn't land on top of the other knees, lands on the ground. Just beginning to wake up the hips nice and gently. Then we'll bring the knees back to center, feet to center, and let the knees open out to the side. A little closer. Alright, so let the knees open out to the sides. Just give them like a little kid butterfly kind of flap, just to release some tension. And we'll take the hands and just give the bottoms of the feet a little bit of a massage. So I'm just using my thumb to almost open my feet like a book, so that I can just get to the bottoms, the arches, just a little love. Ghost Loof, thank you. I will get closer. Yeah, I don't know what changed. I'm having a little bit of audio issues today. Is that better? I'm closer now. I was a little far away. I got my sound high enough to go deaf if you screamed with a premium mic, though, so I'm 90% sure it's not me. No, it's not you. It's not you. Somebody else mentioned that I was low too. Just sit closer. Appreciate you. Sorry, Sabrina. I'm sure that was too low for you too. Projecting. So here we are in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So basically just making a diamond with the body, with the legs. And we're just massaging into the bottoms of our feet using our fingers. Just a little love. And we're gonna morning. Can't do that. Yeah, so if you can't sit like this on the floor, or if you're in a chair, that's fine. There's a couple people who practice in chairs here. You can actually just do one leg at a time, just bringing one up, and then halfway through you can always switch. All right. So we're gonna grab the feet, or you could grab the ankles, and get nice and tall. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. So belly, chest, head comes forward. And you have an option here to, by grabbing onto the ankles, press down on the knees. So you're giving a little stretch to the hips. I'm not yanking on anything. I'm not trying to get my knees to the ground. It's not my deepest hip stretch of my life. It's just a little bit to just get that feel a bit. And then it's more like I'm trying to get my chest to touch my feet than I'm trying to get my nose to my toes. That makes sense. So I'm just letting the back round. We're just going to take a deep breath here, letting the shoulders melt away. Let the head hang heavy. We'll roll back upright. Thanks. All right, knees come together, and then hands come under shoulders, knees come under hips. On for our tabletop pose. On the inhale, belly drops, chest and hips rise for a cow pose. Inhaling fully, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding in the spine for cat, chin tucks towards chest, pressing the ground away. So I'm pressing my hands down and up. Following your breath in for cow pose. Out for cat. Let the speed of your body be informed by the length of your breath. So that the whole movement is nice and smooth, and you're only at either edge of the pose for that little space between the breaths. The pause between the exhale and inhale. The pause between the inhale and exhale. So most of the time is spent in motion, in transition. And the next time you exhale through cat pose, no rush to get there. But let that be your last, and we'll meet back in center tabletop pose. Should I do that? So we're gonna work on a little bit of wrist stoof. Here we go. So fingers, sometimes I can't do it because my inner groin's already sore. Oh, that Baddha Konasana, the diamond, the bound angle pose. We'll do some more hip stuff for you guys, but we won't go too crazy hard. So I'm in tabletop. I'm just facing you so that you can actually see. Hands turn out. Hands turn out to like 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, like on an analog clock. Right? Fingers are spread wide. Now my palms don't leave the ground. I'm gonna just shift from side to side. Okay, so if this feels, it sounded so wrong because my inner groin is sore. Okay, we could say like your inner hips maybe. So if you have like more flexibility to play with here, you've been working on wrist stuff, you can bring your wrists closer to one another. The closer they are, the more difficult it'll be. And I don't mean that in a challenge, like force yourself. Like, this is not something that you want to like force yourself with your wrists. You really want to go to your own edge, because it is painful. I'll just say it right there. It's painful. So you're probably going to like an intensity level of like 8, maybe even 9. As we shift, we're keeping the elbows straight. You can be here too. That's going to be less weight on the wrist. We're checking in for any sharp pain, so it should never get past a 9. Like if you feel yourself like blacking out, or like you lose your breath, like it takes your breath away from the sensation, then like you're like, all right, new edge, not going past that line. So you don't want to go to the point where it takes your breath away. And we're just going to stop over the right hand. So I'm just at the very edge of my flexibility here over my right wrist, and I'm just fully breathing here. So just building up some wrist resiliency here. We'll bring it back over the left hand. Still, the palm doesn't leave the ground, no matter what. Fingers are glued to the ground. Elbows are straight. One more deep breath. Bring it back to the middle, toes tuck under, and sit back on the heels. Just to get off the wrist for a moment. So we're stretching out the bottoms of the feet. I have toes tucked under, sitting back on the heels. Just giving like wrist a little bit of a massage. You can kind of wrist floss a little bit here. Just bringing some blood back into them. Gentle shake. And I got one more wrist strengthening exercise for you. Back to tabletop pose. We're going to flip the hands under. So start with one at a time, and then you can kind of see how it's going to go for you. Do you have any poses that work towards posture? Not asking for examples, just curious. Yeah, 100%. I'm like obsessed with good posture. So yeah, we'll get to some. I can give you some examples for sure after, or later in class once we're done with the wrist stuff. So I'm just gonna take the hand and flip it under so that my fingertips are facing the knee. So it's going straight back. We're just gonna let there be weight there. So here you just want to like scope it out. Like this might be intense enough, and then I'll just let you know when halfway is, and you can switch to your opposite hand, or alternately you can be on the tops of both back hands. So from here you're going to want to notice if your elbows are bent out here to make that happen, and just work towards straightening them. And then I move my elbow towards the front. So so elbows bend, my elbow is bent here. Here's the inside, up, and then I turn it forward. Pretty sure my arm would break at some point. I'm 320 pounds. Okay, yeah, so we're not gonna break any arms. And what you can do is just go one hand at a time. So this hand is holding your weight up. Knees are below your hips. So you're nice and stacked up here, so your knees are really holding up the weight of your hips, and your other arm is holding up the weight off the wrist. And here you're just playing with how much weight you're putting into that arm or not. Yeah. So if you have one hand under, just go ahead and switch to the other side now. If you're here and the bendy part of your elbows are going back towards your knees, like the eye of your elbows are facing forward, then you can start to play with the lean back. Don't lean back if you're doing one hand at a time. Don't lean back if your elbows are bent. Just work towards the straightening of the elbows. And breathe. And like I said, we're really looking for like an 8 level of sensitivity out of 10. So it's intense. It can even be painful, but it shouldn't feel sharp or take your breath away. So I'm just gently rocking forward and back, forward and back. And with wrists, we really want to be careful. So we're trying to prevent carpal tunnel. We're trying to undo all the video game playing and, like I said, steering wheel gripping. There's no award for being able to do anything too crazy with your wrists. So don't push yourself past a point of safety. We just got one more breath here. Can I repeat this one later? It's interesting. I come back to this. I do this at least once a week for sure with the wrists. Okay, so we're gonna gently untuck the hands. Toes tuck under, hips press up high. But I hang out after class too, so I can go over the wrist exercises again. So just giving my wrist a little bit of a massage. Guinness World of Book of Records would disagree. Well, there's no award for breaking your wrist in a yoga class. That's just embarrassing. My point is, we're not in competition with one another. Just let your practice be, just let your body be the way it is. That's just fine. So, we are going to work on some good posture exercises for you. Okay, so let's come down to your belly. Everything is hot. It's too cold to take my socks off, so here we are. All right, hands come below the shoulders. Mouth to your forehead to center. Tops of the feet press into the ground, squeezing the glutes, holding the hips in place. And inhale, chest and shoulders rise. So the chest is reaching towards the front wall. My hands are not doing any of the work. In fact, I can even turn the hands up to just like grab my shoulders. I can grab, just like avoid the temptation to push up. And exhale, mouth, chin, or forehead comes down to the mat. Inhale, lifts you back up. So we're strengthening the erector spinae, the good posture muscles, if you will. Exhales, release you back down. Following the breath. In to rise. And out to lower. In to rise. So the trick is I never let my legs relax or my glutes relax. They're strong the entire time. It feels counterintuitive, like this would actually be more work to keep the whole lower body engaged. But it actually saves a step from having to re-engage everything. So if you're doing this and you're feeling like you could do a little bit more, the arms can come out to the sides like the letter T, and shoulder blades are squeezed together, like you're holding a pencil between your shoulder blades, but still keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you're still feeling like you want to do more, arms come forward like Superman. They never touch the ground. Just chest and shoulder, rise and lift. We've got 2 more. And releasing. One cheek comes down to the ground, bend in the knees, and windshield wiper the feet side to side, letting the lower back relax. So that those lower back muscles are used to rounding when we sit on the couch all day or in a car seat all day. So we're just kind of undoing that a bit. Let the feet come down, hands press into the ground, big toes come to touch, knees come nice and far apart, hips press towards the heels, arms reach forward for our child's pose. So forehead might come down to the ground and we just let it get a little rock side to side. And we'll press into puppy pose. So we'll bring the knees back towards center, like through tabletop. And then just slide the arms forward, trying to bring the chest to the ground. It doesn't matter if the chest touches or not, that's just the direction of the pose. The tops of the hands press into the ground so hard that the elbows stay lifted. So the chin can be on the ground, but if that hurts your neck, just bring your forehead to the ground. And as I'm pressing my chest and armpits towards the ground, I'm rounding in my lower back. So I'm attempting to come into cat pose, just from here down, rounding. But from here to my shoulders, I'm arching like cow. So I'm really exaggerating that shape. The lower back's not going to look rounded at all. Just doing that is going to help the engagement to open up the shoulders and upper back. Last deep breath here. Let me press it back, up, right. Toes tuck under, hips press up high, and we'll just take the steps forward, coming up to a wide-legged forward fold. So let's bring the feet out actually to the edges of the mat. You can just bend one knee and then the other. Hands can be on blocks, on a stack of books, even on a low stool. They're just finding a little movement here. And then you can let the head hang heavy, give me a nod yes. Give the head a shake no. Grab opposite elbows to create a little frame for your head. Give yourself a little rock side to side. So I'm just letting my knees be as bent as they need to be to get this sway. Gently releasing the hands, we'll heel toe the feet in towards one another. Big toes come to touch, a little space between the ankles. And we'll roll up one vertebra at a time. Heavy head comes up last. I will project. Okay. Definitely gonna lose 10 pounds today. Well, I'll say yoga's really good for a lot of things, but I definitely wouldn't. Well, it's a great place to start, but I probably wouldn't recommend it for losing weight. All right. Hands come onto the hips. Let's bring the right knee in. So we're gonna play with balance here. So my right knee is up. You can stay here, or to work on some more hip stuff. I'm just teasing, I know. So I'm making a slow circle with the knee. And if you're falling over or this leg has to come down, just reset. Just begin again. I love my weight. 6'7" bodybuilder type. 6'7". That's really tall. I'm like 5'1" and a half. I'm like 5'2". I have a low center of gravity. It's better for balancing. All right. I'm gonna let that foot touch down. Left knee comes up. And then I'm just drawing big circles. I'm just drawing big circles with this hip. Bodhi, I think I am taller than you, but slightly. Like maybe by like an inch. Not even an inch. I thought we were the same height. So if you're having issues with this balance, what we've been practicing these past 2 months or so. 2 months. Today is class 39, guys. Welcome to class 39. Is balancing poses in stillness. So I'm adding this like extra element of movement. The rules, not the rules, but the tricks and tips stay the same. Eyes come to land somewhere that's not going to move. That's probably above your screen or below it. And we're letting that standing leg be strong and locked, but the foot be soft and supple to navigate and roll with the changes in the body weight. I'm that dude in a pub you don't talk to out of fear. No. Ironically, I'm a teddy bear on the inside. I wish I had friends. Oh, we'll be your friend. Also, I don't really talk to people in pubs, but they talk to me, so I'm usually the bartender. All right, let's touch that down. Amazing. So just give it a little shake out. Actually, we're going to give it a big shake out. I'm just going to come into a whole lymphatic shake part of class. So if you're new here, what does that mean? A lymphatic shaking is going to be great for tension release, for releasing, in our lymphatic system, actually like draining out any kind of like stuck issues and whatnot. So what it looks like, what it looks like is, I need a camera crew, okay, is an actual bounce. So bringing a bounce to the body and just letting the arms flop. So they can be like full jumps, or you could just lift your heels and let them slam down on the ground, landing with bent knees to create that jiggle. So my knees are bent the whole time, and I'm just trying to create an actual like shake with the body. You can take up some space, start breathing in and out through the mouth. Audible sighs, highly encouraged. Just releasing our tensions in the shoulders. I just do that by lifting and dropping my shoulders. You can really look however. And when you feel like stopping, just double time. Like after a week of doing this with me, your calves will be used to it. I promise. Daydream boy, hop, 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 just like a good cup of coffee. Nice to wake up. Also, welcome just in time for lymphatic shake. Ooh, if I do 50 jumping jacks a day, does that count? Nope. This is different. But jumping jacks is great. So, here we are shaking. The next exercise, next practice is called breath of joy. Yes, this is live. This is not pre-recorded. I'm right here with you. All right, the next thing is called breath of joy. And it's a 4-part breath. It looks like this. Feet nice and wide, knees bent. We inhale a third of the air in, arms sweep forward. Inhale a third of the air in, arms sweep out. Inhale a third of the air, arms sweep forward, so we've sipped in 3 times, no exhales in between, and a big ha through the mouth, arms sweep down and back. So inhaling through the nose, 30% of the air in. Inhale through the nose, 30% of the air in. Inhale through the nose, 30% of the air in, and out through the mouth, ha! In, 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 ha! In, 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 ha! In, 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 ha! 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 Whatever you're holding on to, let it go. Ha! Ha! 3 more. If you haven't joined in, now's your chance. Ha! Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! Feet come nice and wide, hand on the heart, hand on the belly, eyes can close, and let's take a moment here to arrive and observe what was created. Elevated heart rate, maybe the temperature of your skin has increased, but what else shows up? Gently blink the eyes open. You might grab a sip of water or towel off your face if you've built up some heat, some sweat. This is an awesome way, Ghost Loof says, Ghost Floof on Twitch says, an awesome way to open up your lungs, especially for those smokers that need fresh air. It's definitely a good way to open up your lungs, yes. And smokers definitely need some fresh air, baby. Ethereal Bodhi on Twitch says, it's good for getting rage out. I feel like that. That's why I do it. I have untethered rage that is best processed through forceful yogic breathing. King on YouTube, unusual workout exercises I see here. Welcome to 3-Eyed Tiger Studio. So if you're on the ground or seated, you just stay there, baby. I'll meet you. Oh, can I just... Do you see how cute this is? Little beastie. So cute. Okay. Right. If you are not on the ground, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, knees bend deep, deep, deep. So deep that you come down to seated. Small ball of rage. Small little rage ball. True life. Definitely me. So, here we are. Knees hug in towards the chest. We're seated up nice and tall. Hands come behind the knees. We're just going to give it a tilt back so that the legs can rise. So I'm trying to get my shins parallel to the ground. If you find yourself rounding, just touch the feet down and begin again. Belly presses against thighs, my shoulder blades are squeezed together. I actually have almost like a cow pose, like arching in the spine to tilt back. So even though my belly and my thighs aren't touching, they're pulling in towards one another. What is a SoCal? SoCal is short for Southern California, which is where I live. But right now I'm in Northern California, but I live in Southern California. So here we are in Navasana, upward facing boat pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, maybe the hands come out or maybe they stay behind here. And we're gonna open up this angle a bit. You're slow. No, you're fine. I have a bunch of people who come in from not the United States and also ask me what SoCal means. Another breath in. Exhale, straighten the legs a bit more. Let the angle of the V open up. Inhale, sustains it. Exhale, opens up a little bit more. Another inhale, sustains it. Exhale just before 180. Inhale to hold. And exhale, let it go. Full body stretch. And the knees hug in towards the body. And give it a little rock side to side. We'll get another hip stretch in for you, Bodhi. Feet come down onto the mat. Are you streaming for Twitch? Yeah, so I'm streaming for Twitch, and then I've just recently started adding YouTube and Facebook. King on YouTube's asking. So let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. The knee presses away. Yeah, so I primarily stream on Twitch. I stream on Twitch every day. So that's why the chat that you're probably wondering who I'm talking to, they're all on Twitch. Same thing. There's a couple people watching on Facebook. Hi. Yeah. Who I'm talking to is all my Twitch peeps. Okay. So the right knee is pressing away, using the left thigh as a fulcrum. Using just core strength, the knee pulls in towards the chest. And we'll reach the hands through. Left hand comes around the leg, right hand goes through the center. And you can even use this elbow to press the knee away. So almost like in our Baddha Konasana. We're opening up the hip here. So just as important as pulling the left thigh in, we're pressing the right elbow away. King, I'm the only viewer on YouTube. Yeah, I don't have any viewers on YouTube. I just connected my YouTube because I thought it would be interesting to see like what was out there, but definitely my community is on Twitch, and I have a couple lovely people on Facebook from my real life, IRL life, but I don't have a YouTube following at all. But I thought, why not? I'll put these yoga videos out. I'm live every single morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. So just got one more deep breath here, guys, in this reclining figure 4 pose. And we'll release both feet onto the ground and cross left ankle over right thigh. No worries, I thought you had demons in your head that you were talking to. Or streaming on YouTube. I was close. Good guess. Good guess. Ghost floof. Okay, so now the left knee's pressing away, right thigh pulls in towards the body using just core strength. See, so I get to the very edge. I'm going to reach through, right hand around the side, left hand through the center. And as I pull this thigh in, the left knee presses away. You can use the left elbow as leverage to press that knee away even more so. Keeping the left foot flexed. And I'm just letting the shoulders be relaxed as well too. So I'm using just bicep strength, like a bicep curl to pull this thigh in. I'm not letting the shoulders get involved at all. Just a last deep breath here. Release the knees, or the feet back to the ground. Knees come in towards the chest. And then both knees gently drop over to the right. Right hand comes to line on top of left knee, and left arm opens up to the side like the letter T. I'm pressing my left shoulder actively down to the ground. Otherwise, the body is completely relaxed. There's no effort in the body. Everything's relaxed, soft. Just letting gravity do the work, because we've done plenty of work already. Good morning, Leaf. Then head comes up through center, knees come up through center. And we'll gently release the knees over to the left. The right arm opens up like the letter T. You can even look over the left shoulder towards the hand. We're pressing the left shoulder to the ground, the right shoulder to the ground. The rest of the body is relaxed for Supta Matsyendrasana, supine spinal twist. So we're just letting gravity do the work for us as we give the spine a twist. This is great for your lumbar spine and lower back problems. This helps alleviate the pain. And head comes up through center, knees come up through center. That was your right. Oh yeah, because I teach this whole class opposite. So my right is your left is my right. But that last pose I forgot to go backwards, but it's all good because as long as you do one side and then the other, you're all good. So that was our last pose, movement pose together. So this last little bit, just go ahead and ask your body, is there any last movement or wiggle or pose or stretch that your body's asking for? It doesn't have to have a fancy yoga name. It doesn't have to have a name at all. And just let yourself move through it. Any body part that called out for your attention or needed something from you during that body scan in the beginning. Maybe we didn't get to that body part. You just go and move through it now. There's really no wrong answers. We're just, we spent all class telling our bodies what to do, and now we just let our bodies tell us what to do in return. So we can more restfully lay in our Savasana, final relaxation pose that's to come. So a lot of yoga poses, traditionally in India, right? They serve the purpose of relaxing the body, tiring the body out, so that it wouldn't bother you during meditation. So it's all in service of meditation. So I can think of that way here too, for our Savasana final relaxation pose, which is a guided meditation. So the positioning for this is legs down the length of the mat, feet at least a foot apart, legs so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open to the sides. If you know laying flat on your back brings any pain to your lower back, you can keep the knees bent by placing a pillow or a rolled up blanket or towel below the knees. If you don't have a prop or don't feel like getting up to grab one, bend the knees real deep. Feet come to the outside edges of the mat, and then let the knees knock in. Broken bridge. So I'm not using any effort or muscle strength. I'm just letting the knees knock together. And I lift the hips just a little bit so from going from an arch back, I just round the spine so my lower back's pressed into the ground, and then I relax it until it comes to a natural place. Alternately, traditionally, just the legs are down the length of the mat. Hands land at least 6 inches from the body. Palms face up, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. Shoulders tuck under, supporting the chest, and head comes centered. I like giving a little tuck to the chin just to elongate the cervical spine, the neck, and eyes can close. If it's more comfortable for you, the eyes can stay open, just looking up towards the sky or ceiling with a soft gaze, not looking at anything in particular, just resting. You can stay laying down. I'm just coming to seated so I can more easily speak you through this, and also play some Tibetan singing bowls. Yes, bridge pose. We didn't get to bridge pose, but that would definitely be a recommended one for before Savasana. But we do say Bandasana bridge pose, yeah, almost every day. King on YouTube, like 10-15. Okay. So with eyes closed or gently lowered, we'll start this Shavasana how we started our seated meditation, with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose and an audible sigh out through the mouth. Ghost, I'm here to help. Allow your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. Invite space between top and bottom teeth, and the tongue falls away from the mouth as the jaw hangs heavy. And all the muscles of the lips and cheeks relax. Nose and nostrils relax. Allowing air to gently pass through, like water lapping up to shore. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Eyelids just barely touching. And the space between the eyebrows broadens as the muscles in the forehead relax. And all the muscles surrounding the ears, with all their wrinkles and folds, and all the way into the ear canals, rest and integrate what was heard. The muscles in the back of the head, top of the head relax as well, hairline. Throat and neck release. Shoulders, shoulder blades, and the space in between all melt away. Upper arms and elbows
toes relax. Forearms and wrists release. Palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, fingernails. Whole hands alive with vibration. Whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate all that you practice. Upper back, middle and lower back rest heavy. Chest gently rising and falling, perhaps imperceptibly. Every exhale sinking you deeper and heavier into the ground below. Belly naturally rising and falling with the breath. And the hips, glutes, pelvis, all rest heavy, supported by the earth below. Thighs and knees melt away. Lower legs and ankles relax. And the heels, arches, toe ball mounds, tops of the feet, and all of the toes relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more and nothing less. Allow your inhalations to become deeper and longer than your exhalations. And that feeling of heaviness replaced with a feeling of openness and expansion on the front side, body on the surface. As fingers and toes begin to wiggle. And head gently rocks side to side. Arms sweep up overhead for a full body stretch. And let the knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural. Landing in a fetal position, fully relaxed, fully released on one side. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Bring to mind whatever intention or dedication you may have set for class today. Or take this opportunity to set one now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a series of wrist resiliency, increasing postures, as well as some hip opening stretches. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to one another, to everyone that held this space. Namaste. Thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something that serves you. Let's see. Get all caught up in chat. So when does neck resiliency come? Well, like when do the poses come? Neck resiliency. Did I say neck resiliency? I meant to say wrist resiliency. But neck resiliency, we do a bunch of neck opening. Yeah, sorry, I meant to say wrist resiliency, everyone who's here. But we do often do neck exercises throughout the week that are all about neck, more like neck mobility, I would say. I would probably use resiliency for ankles and wrists as wording, and I would use mobility for the neck and spine. Yeah. When I say resiliency for the ankles and the wrists is like we put a lot of wear and tear on them, then, goddess forbid we fall over and land, those are the most likely to break or get sprained. So by practicing these movements, we're less likely to permanently or intensely injure them. You did say wrist resiliency, silly. I'm just curious as to the neck part. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. I say like a million body parts through. I probably say like 100 different body parts throughout class. So it was very likely that I very much believed you that I might have misspoke about saying neck instead of wrist. Yeah, let's ban dispersion. How do I do that? This is why we can't have nice things. How? Do I just block him? Is that how I do it? Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Bodhi. All right, cool. Yeah, so with the neck mobility stuff, we're really working on just keeping the neck open and rather opening up new spaces of mobility and motion for the neck to relieve tension. I was able to really get rid of, I had pretty chronic migraines from just the tension that I had in the back of my neck. So what I learned through that physical therapy and that functional movement, I try to bring in here. Well, I learned something new today. Ghost Loof, what did you learn that was new? That sound and the tinnitus really does not work together. I don't know what tinnitus is. That sounds painful. But the sound of the singing bowl, some people fucking hate it. I know that, but
Some people really love it. I'm one of those people who really loves it. It's like the wah 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 sound on a guitar from before times when people played instruments instead of just pressing buttons. No shade, just pressing buttons. I also can't play music with just pressing buttons. But all I'm saying is that when electric guitars were a thing, there was a wah wah sound, and that has that sound, and I love that sound. But yeah, once I was at a party, and this girl, tinnitus is the permanent ringing in your ears you get from being too close to lightning, a gunshot, a bomb. Got it. Okay. Sorry. Ooh, yeah. So I don't mean for that to be painful for anyone at all. Uncomfortable, I'm okay with making people uncomfortable, but I definitely don't want you to be in pain. So apologies if that was like, yeah, that combination was wrong. Come home, daydream. I am, but Kai needs to wake up. I need to pack, you know. But I'm coming home today, baby boy. Once I was at a party with Daydream Boy, and wasn't painful, just loud. Okay, I'll take it. There was this girl who said something. She was like, going through so it was I threw a house party, whatever, or we threw a house party, and she was being kind of rude, but like I hadn't invited her. It was like I had invited someone who had invited someone to our house party, which was pretty usual, and she was saying something like really like rude, and she was kind of like, I don't know, she just had bad vibes too, and somebody was like messing with some of my singing bowls, and I was just like, oh, I was like, oh, I can play that for you. I was like, this is how you do it. So people were like hitting it, and like it's like that's not how you do it. So I start playing the singing bowl, and this girl's like, oh my god, that is the most awful sound I've ever heard. I hate it. And I'm like, oh, that's just because your chakras are not aligned. And like if they were, it would sound beautiful to you, which is not true. It's like a literal blatant lie. And the girl was just like super freaked out. And then like someone turned to me and was like, you know she's on acid right now, right? And I was just like, oh, I just told a girl that's like tripping right now that her chakras are unaligned. And I was like, wow, there are repercussions for what we say, friends. Honesty is the best policy. Don't freak out people on acid with Tibetan singing bowls. So I won't see you until really late. Well, I was hoping to be home for dinner. By the way, my honest respect for what you do. Not trying to be a weirdo, just props for reals. The passion and determination behind what you do is easy to see and really inspiring. For me, that's a rare to see, so props. Thank you, Ghost Floof. I'm so glad that you found my channel. You're welcome anytime. And this is my life. I mean, I've been practicing for 17 years. And I've been teaching for 5. And it's sad to have yoga studios closed, but I wouldn't be doing this if I was teaching in a yoga studio in real life, to be honest with you. I would just be teaching to the beautiful people of San Diego, and now I get to teach to the beautiful people of the internet. Pops, not props. Oh, did I say that? Oh, it's all good. I was thinking of it positively either way. Of the world. Oh man. I don't have to, but I do get to pack up. So, Ghost Floof, anyone else listening that doesn't know, this is not, you read too fast. Oh my gosh, I know. I love reading them. This is not my place. This is my girlfriend Kai's place. She is sleeping. And so is her dog. This is her dog. I don't have a wolf dog. I have a shadow ninja dog. You'll meet her tomorrow. So I'm in Northern California right now, which is why it's so cold and I'm so bundled up. But, yeah. I'm heading back to San Diego with my daydream boy, and today. Slow down, tiger. And yeah, so I'm gonna be driving all day. So I'm like, if she's sleeping, maybe I'll go for a run and like come back and shower. Oh no, she's alive. She's alive and not just a fluffy teddy. I'm like, so what I should do, that word, but like, is pack and clean the house, because I turned their living room into a yoga studio, and their dining room into a painting studio. But I think what I am going to do is go for a run through these almond groves, because it's sunny out and cold, but sunny. That way I'll be like relaxed for the drive, because I'm driving like 9 hours. Thank you for dropping the tips in the comments, Bodhi. I appreciate you. Yeah, so $5 tip gets you a recording of class, or you can ask for a recording from a different day. And that with timestamps. So if you just wanted to do the lymphatic shake, if you just wanted to do the meditation, if you just wanted to do the movement, you can just get to that with a click. It's obviously not required. Super appreciated. It makes a big difference in my life. It makes a big difference in my life when it comes to paying for the internet and the electricity. And yeah. Take your time, love. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. True life. Ghost floof. See you around, girl. Thanks for helping and fun. There's none broken. Link. Oh, I have to fix my link. Okay, good to know. All right. I'm gonna fix that link, get my life together, and